My name is Edith WeUtonga. I'm a bassist, singer, songwriter, and band leader for the band Utonga from Zimbabwe. Well, I guess I started being musical at a very tender age. I was born in a family of great musicians, I believe, and given the right place, I think they would have been, big artists. But my maternal side is very musical, and my paternal side is also very musical and artistic. So I started doing music maybe when I was 7, and professionally I started in the year 2000. I went solo in the year 2010 after a stint with an all-female band called Amakosikazi, and also being a backing vocalist for the likes of Tango Kwasando, Township Jazz musician. And the year 2010 heralded my debut album, Utonga. And this is the album that featured music such as Mukaranga, Chipendani, Taisireva, and Stone Child. My debut album took me to a lot of festivals because it got the people's attention and found me playing at Haifa in 2010. And I was at Haifa in 2011. And I did collaborations with the likes of Publish the Quest from Seattle. And I also did the closing for Haifa in the main stage with Oliver Mtukudzi and Ishmael Lo. And this also opened up chances for me to travel the world toward East Africa. I have done a lot of collaborations with the likes of the late Chioniso Maraire, Ja Praiser, Sulemani Chimbetu in a campaign for Ambassadors for Peace during the elections. And I also did another collaboration with Publish the Quest. 1,000 Pieces of Gold is their album, and we did the song Never Again, and we did the song Penya. And I also did a collaboration with Claire Nyakujara, a jazz musician, a song titled Sorry. And I did something with Outspoken, who is a spoken word artist, and we did the song Agodoka. I'm influenced by a lot of things around me, my life, because I've been through a lot, my friends, my environment, and I also like to pay attention to what is happening in my country and also in my environment. And those are the things that inspire me to write music. My day is basically school runs in the morning, rehearsals, exercises, and also getting to do other programs that I do. I'm a TV presenter, I'm a mentor, and I'm also a union leader for the musicians in Zimbabwe. My second album, Kwacha, means it is day in my mother tongue, Nyanja. And this is an album that brought with it an identity for who Edith WeUtonga is, a great improvement from my first album, and a touch of other borrowed sounds from my experiences from where I've traveled, and also making use of the instrumentalists that I worked with coming from different genres who came up for this project. Being in the media is exciting, and sometimes it is worrying. I've basically had my fair share of good publicity, and also what I feel is a share of bad publicity. But hey, they say publicity is all good. I basically have a good rapport with my media friends, whom I believe help me make my brand. But I remember when I did Agodoka, headlines were Edith Goes Wild because of my dressing. But I guess these were just comments and, speculation over a song that they had not listened to yet, because I married the album sleeve to the song that I was singing about. Well, I'm very happy that both my albums got nominations for NAMA, Best Female Musician, Best Album, and also for the Zima Awards for Best Female, Best Album. And I think so far I've done well. I haven't yet bagged an award for my albums, even though I've bagged awards for being an outstanding actress. So I believe everything comes at its own time. And I believe a nomination means people are taking notice of the things that I'm doing. And also I'm the kind of person that when I write something on social media, people follow. And my presence on social media is also given attention to my music, being on SoundCloud, being on iTunes, have seen my music also being appreciated out there. Being a female musician in Zimbabwe has got its challenges, I would say. We are basically categorized as jazz musicians. Edith WeUtonga is not a jazz musician. Edith WeUtonga is a contemporary traditional musician, because I think jazz is very complicated, and that identity crisis for, the female musician in Zimbabwe being labeled as a jazz musician is still very high. And besides that, we still have female musicians still struggling for spaces. The operating spaces in venues or at any big event are still very limited for the female musician. We are judged for what we wear. We are judged for what we sing about. We are judged on where we go to perform. And not much attention, I believe, is not given to the female musician. And my word of advice really for my fellow female musicians is, we really have to put in the extra mile. Where our male counterparts put 100%, we need to put in 200. We need to work extra hard. And out there, people do pay attention to what we do, maybe because you'd have traveled. But locally, we have to really work extra hard for that attention to be paid upon us. In terms of performances, in terms of the genres, in terms of, our lives separated from the work that we do, it's hard for our audiences to separate that. And I think it's a challenge for a female musician, because when you try to separate your music from your motherhood, your music from your school, for example, I'm going to school, I'm studying for my degree, there's a very thin line. Wherever you go, you're identified as a brand, and I believe that's how it is. And we are the female musicians of Zimbabwe, so yeah.